Since you've last seen me, a lot of stuff has gone down. I started doing some digital art, Obi-Wan Kenobi had a rather fucking brilliant finale, I beat God of War 2018, Resident Evil 7, and The Quarry. Started playing Rust, got this creeper mug, bought bright pink Crocs, and bought some Assassin's Creed merch for their 15th anniversary that costed about $75 too much. Fall Guys went free to play but was immediately removed from Steam, so I had to buy it through a third-party site, essentially nullifying the fact that it's free now. I'm just petty and fucking hate the Epic launcher. Sue me. John Swan came back and then immediately proceeded to fall flat on his stupid fucking face, and so on and so forth. I mean, for fuck's sake, I could be Kakashi Sensei from Naruto doing the default dance with a sussy crewmate on my back. What fucking timeline are we in? Over the last 2 weeks, I've been editing the fuck out of this video that I'm working on, and I'm realizing how much blind hate I've brought forth to Assassin's Creed. Granted, the last 3 entries, and sometimes even the few ones before, have their pretty high highs and their extremely laughable lows, but I do still love what magic this crazy-ass franchise has brought to my life. The same can be said for the topic of today's video. Halo Infinite. The game, since its announcement back in June of 2018, was at the mercy of its fan base. If 343 fucked up again like the 2.5 fuck-ups they had prior, they'd honestly never see support from the fan base ever again, and the license would have to be passed on to another one of Microsoft's other development teams. When the game finally resurfaced and showed its multiplayer at E3 2021, everyone was beyond excited for the return of Master Chief and the fresh new multiplayer, which was following various tropes of other AAA first-person shooter games of the current genre. The game was slated for a December 2021 release, but as us fan base were surprised on the 20th anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved, the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta was released as a free standalone experience. The community was in a fucking frenzy. The multiplayer was met with just about nothing short of overwhelming support and praise for the gunplay, the visuals, and the maps. It was at the time thought to be the peak of the Halo franchise, even rivaling Halo's pre-existing legacy. Even I myself at one point thought the game was great. The gunplay was fresh and fluid, the chosen weapons were all balanced, albeit some were definitely better than others. Then the cracks started to show. First, the Battle Pass. What a fucking piss poor excuse for a content pass. I'd go as far as to compare it to Marvel's Avengers Battle Passes. Yes, it is the same game that in order to get the character passes for each character, you had to spend $10 fucking on each hero. Absolutely insane. With Halo Infinite's content pass, it was just shitty EXP boosts, occasional armor pieces, emblems that kinda looked like hot garbage, and an overall lack of anything that makes games like Fortnite memorable and passable with their Battle Pass system that they helped shift the gaming community into how it is now. With said armor pieces, they were all locked to specific armor cores. Let's say you got a visor for your Mark 7 armor core and you wanted to put it on a different core. Oh, that's too fucking bad because you can. A game promised to have some of the most free-range customization in any AAA game according to the developer, and here we are nearly 8 months into the multiplayer lifecycle, and nothing has really changed and it's fucking bogus. I could sit here and talk about how much of a grease fire behind a 7-Eleven the armor customization is, but there are a few more genuine offenses that this game has to offer, and don't fret, it only gets worse from here. What the actual fuck is up with the leveling system? Did a fucking 5-year-old decide that it's okay that you gain less and less EXP per game? I've been saying this since day one. Just have a regular fucking progression system, like, oh, I don't know, every other video game in existence. Even games like Destiny 2 does their progression system better, and this game has a less offensive record of charging you between $40 and $120 for the same 3 to 7 hour annual campaign, without the 4 paid season-based story events that wrap up the story in the same expansion you just bought, and sometimes it doesn't even finish the story. And you just gotta keep buying that shit over and over and over again. It's a never-ending cycle, and no one's wallets are safe. That's why whenever someone asks you if they should get into Destiny, just say no. Oh yeah, we're talking about Halo Infinite. God damn, that fucking leveling system sucks. For example, you get 30 more kills than the rest of your team and you clutch the game. You'd expect to be rewarded for your sick accuracy. Well, if it's not on a challenge card in your hand, you wasted your fucking time and you might as well as give up. Because that 100 extra XP is not gonna stop you from spending money in the store for those Spartan kitty ears that everyone loves and no one hates because they're fucking funny. But guess what? They're only for the Mark 7, so if you want them on anything else, fuck you. Oh yeah, this next offense is a recent thing, so a lot of it is still swept under the rug, or miscommunicated, so I'm going to talk about it. For Juneteenth this year, 343 released an emblem which was entitled Bonobo, being a reference to the Slinky Funky Monkey. Now, if you've played Rust or experienced the Call of Duty lobby before, you know where my words are going next. Yes, sir, if you don't like the truth, but it was seen as 343 calling black people monkeys, which is honestly really unheard of for a company as big as 343 and Microsoft to do some whack shit like that and release it on a national holiday that celebrates the emancipation of black slaves in the South, which honestly should have always been a holiday, but this is Halo, not political science, so I'll leave that be. But like, you see where I'm coming from, right? It's beyond fucked. Even Bobby Kotick, the guy who drinks breast milk or some shit, wouldn't even stoop that low. There is a silver lining where apparently it was released by accident and it was a codename for something completely different, but there was like a translation error or something. I don't know, but I'll play devil's advocate here and play both sides. Who knows, maybe there was a code fucky wucky, a potential oingo boingo in the systems. Who the fuck knows? All we know is that it has been since removed, and props to 343 for handling that as soon as word of mouth started to spread, but also like, fuck you 343, you guys shouldn't have let this come out in the first place. Kind of the last thing I want to talk about is the lack of care that 343 are displaying for this game. It seems as if it's been one broken promise after another, and quite frankly, it's melting the good name of not only Halo Infinite, but the Halo brand in its entirety. It's on a steady decline and has no recovery in sight. This game still has no co-op campaign, no forge, and just no fun left in the grand scheme of things. We have a new Call of Duty coming this fall, and it looks to be a great Michael Bay-esque grandiose explosion fest that'll even give George Washington a boner. That game will not only have a fully co-op campaign at launch, but it'll have a fucking map editor too. When people have the debate on which shooter is better, Call of Duty or Halo, it's usually a mixed bag reception, with each franchise having respectful highs and lows. You gotta give Call of Duty props. They managed to stay current with all the gaming norms, and don't try to fundamentally break everything in the process by cramming your paid content drops with the same shit that Battlefront 2 got fucked on like 4 years ago for. Sure, you can turn off your brain and play a bare bones game that has the hype of only franchise mindset to back it and think you'll find an enjoyable experience within, but for me personally, I've already bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey 5 times, so I have nothing but numbness to bad shit. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. Halo Infinite fucking sucks. It seems as if it's nothing but a cash-in on tropes that gaming has been whirlpooled into over the last 4 to 5 years. Within all the bad shit, there are some funny moments that lie within, however. Remember how Halo Infinite launched free multiplayer a month early? Well, they charged a full $59.99 for a campaign that's a few guard towers short of a Far Cry spinoff. It follows the same tropes as a Ubisoft game to a T, but somehow manages to do it even worse than Ubisoft and what they've coughed out over the last few years. A little indie game known as Overwatch 2 is doing the same shit, releasing a free-to-play multiplayer component with a full-price campaign to follow suit. It's fucking ridiculous, and I genuinely hate that's how games are going nowadays. Speaking of hate, I hate to be that guy who brings up Fortnite again, but with Save the World, they managed to have a pretty alright concept and have it coincide with the arguably much bigger, more expansive Battle Royale mode. While not being the worst game I've ever played, Halo Infinite definitely ranks rather low on my good graces. With all the criticisms that have been brought forth, there can be a change. 343 just needs to look to the community, the people who consume the product that they release. We as the people who pay for these games annually have more to speak up about the products that you pay for than you realize. Mind you, these are products we are spending money on. Money earned from jobs that consume our lives. We use that money to buy games like Halo or Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty to enjoy them and have fun. If you like Halo Infinite, good on you, I'm glad. Just one more thing, be reasonable. When people come up to you for your opinion on Halo Infinite, there's no need to give them a fucking haiku about how you Bon Burgered their stepsister. Just be happy. Just be glad we're getting these games still, even if they're trash. I'll still play them. I'm a consumer at heart. I've bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey 5 times.